Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us on this Shopley Zoom. We are right at the top of the hour, I think, here now. This is Rod Larson, CEO of Shopley, going to be joined here tonight, as you can see, I think, on the screen, by my partner, Nick Sarnicola, president, and also by Ron Williams, our chief visionary officer. Hey, Ron. Hey, Nick. Give a wave out to the crowd. That's all you need to do right now. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome.
Happy to have you here. Those of you who are joining us real quick, so we're just right at the top of the hour. Traditionally, we give a lot of shout outs to everybody who is joining us from wherever they are joining us. And also remind them that here's a few minutes before we get started, usually 3 or 4 minutes after the top of the hour. So take a second, folks, and pick up your phone, send out a text or an email to 2, 3, 4, 5 members of your team. We got some big announcements coming company-wide. Some of our key leadership have heard a couple of these announcements here tonight, but already heard them before. But tonight we're going to share it with all of the members of Shopley. So take a minute, send a text out to members of your team, your upline, your downline, your sideline, your other sideline. Send it out to people to join us tonight for great announcements as we build up to what is coming up here over the summer as a transition to an amazing platform and an amazing launch on 3.0. So my name is Rod Larson. Jump on the Q&A and give us your name and where you are joining us on this Zoom from, and we'll make an announcement from your region. So Tennessee, thank you for joining us again. Also, 2 Tennesseans here already. Curacao, thank you. A third Tennessean. I really appreciate you guys all joining us. Currently represented well by Tennessee. Let's get a few more on. Thank you from, let's see. I'm not sure where Marco Island is. That Florida? Vietnam, thank you for joining us. Texas?
Florida. I know it well. Great area.
Canada, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Wisconsin, Vancouver Island, Austin, Texas, Alabama, Chicago, England, thank you. Texas, thank you. Florida, Tennessee, love it. California, Texas, wildfire, okay, somewhere in Montana. So it sounds to me like this person also does wildfire work, as does my nephew. He's also on a fire. So stay safe out there. You know what? Shopley's about to become a wildfire of its own. So it's a good thing you're joining us with us. Joining us also from Canada, Kentucky, Texas, California, New York, Nuevo York, thank you. Ohio, Georgia, Australia, thank you from Aussie. I know there's a couple of people from Aussie already on. Hawaii, thank you. New Mexico, welcome from a fellow New Mexican. New York, Australia again, BC, British Columbia, we thank you. Folks, take a minute. Send a text, send a message, send an email, send a smoke signal. Get anybody you've got on your team to join us for this message. This is very important. Thank you for joining us from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I've been there, love that area. So listen, please send a message out. We've got great things happening here. Really incredible things, actually. We're going to share with you who our integration partner is tonight. Going to share with you some plans for this year. We got some amazing stuff happening here at Shopley, and very, very excited to be a part of that with the members of the executive team. On your mutual behalf, folks, send a message out to your friends. We've just topped the century mark on people joining us. We need to set a new record for our launch of 3.0. So send out some messages, get your folks on, and start get your calendar open and be ready to make some commitments to join us in all the different things that we're rolling up towards. Jump on the Q&A, folks, and tell us where you're joining us from. We love it. Thanks for being a part of it. So Nick, you're going to be on call in just about a minute. By my clock here, we're at 6:03. So we'll jump on in about 1 minute and pass the call over. First, we're going to welcome our Chief Visionary Officer, Ron Williams, on. So folks, if you didn't know it, Ron celebrated a birthday. He's finally turned 50. So we got Ron Williams on. So make sure you reach out in the Q&A. Go ahead and give him a shout. Say, hey, Ron, happy birthday. Appreciate it. Ron, I know you've got a great message for us. I need a thumbs up from you when that's been successfully set up and we're ready to go. So Stacy and or Ron, give me a wave if we're good to go on that. Ron, you're muted. Stacy, you're muted. So a wave will do. Ron, how are we doing? Are we set up and ready
I'm
to go
doing,
for your
I'm doing
presentation?
good. I'll chit chat until she gives me the green light. But thanks for that birthday wish and that welcome. Good to see Craig and good to see Mike on with us today. We love having those guys on. They bring so much value. And Nick always bringing his A game to the table, and Stacy always facilitating all these nuts around you. So thank you so much. Well, I've been thinking about this whole Shopley journey we've all been on together, and I've been thinking, every once in a while we see something that's so big, it's so much bigger than all of us that, we just don't know what to say or do. We want to leave. We want to find the piecework, if you will, because piecework is easy to find. Piecework is everywhere, folks. But if that piecework doesn't fit into your body of work, don't do it. Don't do it. I've always believed that your body of work is really everything. And so many people, they sell out and they do the piecework. Sometimes you have to out of desperation, but anytime you can get out of that piecework stuff, stick to the body work. Because I was thinking about this vision of Shopley, how we all fell in love with it, how easy it is to kind of dismiss it and go find something that's just easy and it's a me too this, me too that. And I'm not trying to put anybody down, but that's what most people sometimes do. So I'll tell you what, though, this vision is bigger than all of us, and it's not for the fair-weathered people. There's a lot of fair-weathered people, and the people that we have on the Zoom tonight, Craig, Mike, others that are on here with us, Stacy, they're not fair-weathered. These are people who are committed and they understand the vision. So this morning, we were editing a video of the week, and I wanted to play a video for you guys, a really short one today, just apropos for this, what we're talking about right now about the vision, that this is not for the fair-weathered people. Vision bigger than all of us, so none of us get in the way. Stacy, let's give it a shot.
Vision is always greater, always bigger. It always supersedes the changing weather conditions, even fair weather. Just know, we are here, so you can be there.
Alrighty, so folks, just a little brief, little friendly reminder that this vision is bigger than all of us. This is not for the fair weather. This is for the people who get it. And those of you who are here who are doing it, congratulations. You have to reshift your focus right now and just say, I'm 100% in. Let's go. Text somebody, get them on. Our president's going to talk tonight. Let's bring the A game. With that, Rod, thank you. What a pleasure it is working with you as well, Rod. Thank you so much for everything. So I'm going to turn the time back to you.
You bet, Ron. Thanks so much for the video. Isn't that just like you, Ron? It's your birthday, but you're giving us a little present. So thank you. Really appreciate your time and just a little taste there, folks. And Stacey, I'd love it if we can throw that video up somewhere where people can have access to it and they can use it in their business. This is an amazing time right now. Everything we learned together over the first year is coming to fruition in 3.0, which is really an amazing launching pad for us all. So without taking any steam out of Nick's presentation tonight and some updates, just give you one last chance, everyone. Send out another message, get people on. This is the time to regenerate, rejuvenate, recommit, and also understand the incredible reality of what's going on here in the future for Shopley. So Nick Sarnicola, our president, joining us from Florida. Take it away, Nick.
Thank you, guys. Happy birthday, Rod. And thank you, Rod, for leading us in. Well, first of all, gang, it's been a great journey. It feels like it's been years. It's actually only been 1 year, almost to the day, since we actually first said the name Shopley, 2 months prior to the first time we actually took a credit card. So we're at the 10-month mark of being in business, and it all came together with an idea that is just greater than anything out there. But executing that idea, much more difficult than executing any other idea out there. And that idea was brought to all of us at an origin point of a very successful business partner, friend, investor, operator that a lot of you guys have known of or worked with or come across his body of work over the last, let's say 10 years or less, with a gentleman by the name of Terry LaCour. And he brought us this gigantic mountain to climb of creating a software, a piece of software that can unite stores and store owners to people that want to shop and buy, through people that are great at business development and team building and influencing and selling. How do we create this ecosystem, not just with one brand and one product in one country, but with thousands of brands, tens of thousands of products in 100 to 200 countries? Something that's never been done before. Something that we knew would take us years. Literally, we knew it would take us years to figure out. And we believed Shopley 1.0 would have been a greater technology than it was. We believed it would have been faster in terms of being able to onboard vendors than it was. We thought it would have been easier than it was. We came out with Shopley 2.0, which was really just a collapsing of process, a bit of a facelift, speeding up of KYC for vendors, being able to take a vendor and get them onboarded in 7 days as opposed to 7 weeks. And all of the things, that you would think of the difficulty of the mountain that we're climbing. Then we started charting out the idea, mapping out, probably a better word, mapping out the idea of Shopley 3.0. What do we keep? What do we remove? What's most important? How do we scale way faster? How do we get to the vision of what we're trying to create with less hoops, less process? And we began to figure it out. And we began to figure out a primary partner that we had to integrate with to fast track what we believe it would have taken us 3 to 4 years to do. And to be able to get us to that point by around the end of year 1. And rather than just rush onto the scene and maybe not deliver a quality product in the way that we want to on 3.0, we also took a look at every other piece of the business. And we said, well, what if we looked at Shopley 3.0 as not just an opportunity to have a full integration with one of the largest e-commerce companies in the world, but what if we also use it as an opportunity to give anything else a facelift, a tweak, and enhance, or recreate, depending on which bucket it's in, an addition, a subtraction of just about every piece of our business model. And for those of you guys that have been plugging in the last 2 weeks, we've shared with you what those buckets are. We've shared with you what the timeline looks like. And today we're going to share with you the most exciting announcement that we've had in the history of our company. So here's what the rest of the Zoom will sound like. I'm going to talk about the buckets of what it is that we're reworking. I'm going to make the announcement of our full integration partner. I'm going to give you guys a timeline and then an invitation. So that way you guys have an idea of what we're looking at here. This is a Zoom designed for people who are already enrolled as an affiliate member in Shopley. Maybe you enrolled and didn't do anything. Maybe you enrolled and stopped. Maybe you enrolled and you're hanging on, still working a little bit, or maybe you're still working a lot. If for somehow you got onto here as a guest tonight, it's not a bad thing, but there's probably going to be a lot of pieces that won't make sense, and that's okay. This is definitely a Zoom designed for, the folks that have been pioneering with us over these last 10 months. So let's talk about for a second what our intention is here with Shopley 3.0. We're going to take a look at multiple buckets. I'm going to go fast on this today because I went slower on it over the last 2 weeks. But I want to remind everyone that Shopley 3.0 is not just a tech update. You might call it a completely new company with a full overhaul on all the major components. The first one you're going to see is new licenses that we will add, new price points, and some points or some licenses that will stay the same. So you should anticipate and you should expect that we'll be adding new licenses, having some pricing changes, and also some of the licenses will stay the same. But it's not just we're updating tech, we're starting with licenses. If you guys remember, this is what the current licenses look like or are priced out as. And you're going to see multiple changes and additions and new license added and new prices, etc. So I just want to reference that one real quick. Another one is you're going to see a very enhanced incentive plan. I'm going to say somewhere around up to 50% of the plan is getting a makeover. Things that weren't driving the behavior that we wanted them to drive. How do we take that same money and redirect it to get money in the hands of the right people, pushing the ball forward, making money faster, so on and so forth. So you should expect an enhanced incentive plan coming down the pipe here when you see this timeline in a moment. Third thing you should expect. Stace, this was to go at the end with, oh, well, we'll just leave it for now. A new vendor experience, which I'm going to come back to. You're also going to see a new marketplace, which I'm going to come back to. So I want to end with those two, if you remember, Stace. Here's a big one, customer positioning. Customer positioning is going to be a major new distinction inside of our 3.0 rollouts. And without going too deep down the rabbit hole, because we're going to do that on July 19th, we see a way where we could be the ultimate customer rewards model with localized vendors worldwide, where people making the decision to buy from themselves, not just luxury items or one-off items or extra spending, but your essentials, things that you're spending money on all the time, brands that you recognize, products you recognize, being able to give cashback rewards to customers anywhere from 5 upwards to 30% to a customer to buy from themselves. This is going to be a major and drastic repositioning of our marketing message, of our sales presentation, of our enrollment process. So be ready for this because that's going to be a monster. Now, the next one is Shopley Partners. So you should expect a complete overhaul on how you enroll your affiliate members, your influencers, and how you enroll and present the videos, etc., the look and feel, the sales funnel for not just enrolling sales partners, but also your vendors as well. Now, the last two that I'm going to jump back to. I went over a second ago. This is where I'm going to spend the time here. So yes, new licenses. Yes. New incentive plan. Yes. New Shopley partners. Yes. New positioning of our customer value proposition, which changes our whole sales process. It changes our whole marketing message. Those last two are the vendor experience and the marketplace. And those last two are in complete conjunction with deep technology integrations to one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the world. Now, why is this so critically important? All of you guys already know the 1,000-pound snowball that we're all pushing uphill to try to get to the top, to push down the other side to get momentum. It was not our ability to recruit affiliates. It was not our ability to attract team builders. It was not our ability to attract affiliates. It was not our ability to attract vendors, not to attract them. It was actually really easy. The difficult part was onboarding a vendor, getting that vendor into the marketplace. And team, we went through a checklist of all of the things that we used to have to do for a new vendor and compared it to what we're going to have to do in Shopley 3.0. And with no exaggeration, I'm telling you, 98% of the work is going away. What does that mean to you? Three things: speed, speed, and more speed. Because we got to get that snowball on the other side so it can go. And the number one thing blocking us from speed was the ability to not sell a vendor. Everybody loved it. The ability to get that vendor quickly onboarded with simplicity, without in-depth KYC, without sending contracts to 4 different email addresses, without submitting every document they've ever had to have in their entire life across 100 plus countries and 30-something languages, whatever, all of these roadblocks that we had. And it was very, very, very difficult for the company, for you, for your influencer pro who brought the vendor, and also for the vendor itself. And all of that created slow, 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 slow. Well, where does that vendor populate? Well, the vendor populated into a marketplace. And because it was slow to get vendors in, it was tough to populate a marketplace. And furthermore, let's say this correctly, one of the primary and major shifts we are making is inside of some of our tech partnerships. And our marketplace didn't look the way it should have looked. It didn't have the sex appeal it should have had. It wasn't customer friendly. It wasn't high tech. It was clunky. It was slow. And I can go on and on and on, simply just saying all the words that you already know. But I am going to remind every one of you, there was never a week after the 3rd week where I didn't say to everybody, this is beta, this is beta, this is beta, you're a pioneer, you're a pioneer, you're a pioneer. This is what it's like. This is how it's going to be in the beginning. Until we figure out the right processes, the right partners, the right way to do this, it's how it's going to be. And that's the price that a pioneer pays. However, a pioneer who is still there when the path is cleared, those are the people that win big. And I mean huge. Those are the type of people who make millions of dollars in different business vehicles and different business ventures. Is those type of people. So, we stayed true to have tough conversations with you guys over the last 10 months. But now I can look at where we're going to be in the next 70 days or whatever the time frame is. I'm calculating real time here. And I get goosebumps thinking about the speed at which we can go, the partnerships that we have on the tech side, the integrations that we have on the e-commerce side, the speed at which we can take this to scale, and most importantly, solve the problems that we set out to solve for vendors, aka store owners, stores, right? Online stores. How do we solve those problems that they have of customer acquisition costs or exposure, impressions, brand value, an affiliate sales force, an affiliate software? How do we solve the problems for influencers? Influencers don't want to have to sign in 100 different logins into 100 different companies. What if we can give them one place? 10,000 vendors, 100,000 offers. It's all right there for you. What if we could do that, right? Those are problems we set out to solve. And what about the team building side, the network marketing side? It doesn't matter what Me Too company pops up. If they're not committing to solving the real problems of the industry, that company is going to cease to exist. I don't know, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, less. That's not my belief. That's just data points, right? Direct sales crashing every year, 4 straight years. Why? Gig economy, influencers. So network marketing companies eliminating their MLM channels, saying, let's just pay influencers directly. How do we bridge those two worlds together? Who's solving that problem? And how do you solve it? Get this, at a global scale. The only global companies I know of for the last couple of years are all companies that are not built to last for the long term. It's either a global trading software, a global travel deal, or a global crypto deal, because we as team builders, we know people across the globe. We need to build something across the globe. We need something that allows us to build into our networks around the world. So you're either going to make a short-term decision or you got to make a long-term decision. And I've said this word for word for the last year, these same things. The reason why I have fallen in love with Shopley and the reason why I build this relentlessly and try to figure out what we're trying to figure out is because the company that solves those problems for a vendor, for a team builder, and for an influencer, that company is going to be a massively successful company. So with that, I'd like to make an epic announcement that Shopley will be a fully integrated app and software as a service inside of one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the world, getting access to all of the stores that they've built. And if you haven't guessed it yet, Shopley will be fully tech integrated with the monster of Shopify. And it just makes sense. We both got the same name with shop and shop to start the first 4 letters. You know, they have a different outcome than we have. They're solving different problems than we are. And man, thank goodness the problems they're solving. Let me start over. The problems they've already solved are the ones that we were trying to solve on a technical side until we realized we don't have to solve those because they're already solved. They're already solved by a company that is valued at about 120 billion as a global valued company. Now, I'm going to talk to you about Shopify for a moment, but I just want to tell everyone, I know this, before we're done, you are going to have 100 questions. The good news is we've got time to get you the answers. I don't mean tonight, I just mean we got time because our timeline is built so that we've got a couple months before this all launches. So let's talk to you really quick about, for those who don't really understand Shopify, who they are, what they do. So here's a couple pieces of Shopify. This is not Shopley. This is Shopify. Shopify has almost 5 million storefronts, 5 million stores, 5 million companies, aka vendors. We use the word vendors. They got 5 million of them already. Shopify is in 175 countries. Shopify is translated in 20 different languages. Let's go ahead and click the next one. Shopify is valued at 110 to 120 billion. Every 28 seconds, a new entrepreneur on Shopify makes their first sale. It powers about 10% of US e-commerce. It's got over 675 million users or shoppers, people that shop. It's merchants, its store owners have made over 1 trillion in revenue, or generate over 1 trillion in revenue. They've grown 8 consecutive quarters with the revenue increasing at least 25%. I'm not sure if that's the last slide. I think we got one more, Stace.
No, that was last.
Okay, so you can pull that down. The bottom line is this is as about the most intelligent move as we could have made. And I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes of what this will look like in September. Don't forget, you've seen the timeline. This is not today. It's not next week. This is what will happen in September. In September, every Shopify merchant who has a store around the world will have the ability to open up their Shopify app store. And inside the Shopify app store is going to be us. It's going to be Craig. It's going to be you. It's going to be Stacy. It's going to be Mike. It's going to be Shopley. They're going to be able to download there's 5 million possible vendors. Those 5 million possible vendors are going to be able to download our Shopley app. That Shopley app is meant to do one thing and one thing only for those Shopify merchants: get you customers. Well, guess who's already done all the KYC? Shopify. We don't need your paperwork. We don't need your birth certificate. We don't need any of it for you to download the app. All I need you to do is download the app. And there's only one part of them onboarding that has complexity. We don't need to go into it now. We'll talk about it on the 19th. So if there was, and only probably less than 5% of the vendors are even going to go down a path of what I'm referencing, the reason why I'm saying this is 95% of vendors, they will be onboarded. We will tell you an hour or less. Our tech partners who work every day with Shopify on both sides of the merchant side and the Shopify side and work in between, they'll tell you could be as fast as 15 minutes. Guys, go back with me 10 months ago when 5,000 influencer pros joined. And each of them goes and gets one vendor in a week. And those vendors can onboard in 30 to 45 minutes. And there's 5,000 vendors populated inside of the Shopley marketplace. What would have happened? That dream, that vision, that's now. That's where we're at over the next 90 days. And when I look at the list of things we no longer have to do anymore, whoo! Speed, speed, speed. So in the month of September, we're going to begin getting as many stores as we can. They must be Shopify stores. We're going to come to you and answer your questions in a moment about what about our existing vendors. We got a whole topic on that. Those Shopify users will click a button. They'll download our app. They'll import their existing store. You will not have to build a new store on Shopley. You're going to import your existing store from Shopify into Shopley. The existing products, the existing descriptions, the existing images. The only thing you're going to have to tell us is how much commission do you want to pay? So, guys, when I'm talking about a completely brand new experience, we're talking about night and day. So I'm going to bring on a few of our leaders here, and I'm going to let them rant for a moment on anything they want to talk about, past, present, future, whatever. While I do that, I'd love to ask a question back to you guys. How many of you currently know anywhere in the world a merchant or a vendor who has set up their website utilizing Shopify technology already? And if you have more than one, tell me how many that you know use Shopify in the Q&A box. With that, I'm gonna kick it over to Mike, Craig, Stacy, you guys, over to you.
Well, thank you. Obviously, a huge high five. Congratulations to every single one of you guys. Thanks, Nick, and Rod and Ron and Terry for putting this thing together, because I mean, this is a big deal. And when you really go start talking about where we've come, it's only been 10 months. I mean, this is nothing. I mean, we knew when we started with the concept in mind that the vision was huge. And it had, in order for me, and I'm sure Craig will say the same thing, in order for us to actually be involved in something like this, I know you'll mirror the same sentiment, Nick, is that it has to be something big. It has to be something life-changing. It has to be something that solves a massive problem that's happening right now. And there's so many massive problems that deserve honest, good solutions, and there just aren't any. All the way down to the average consumer, that's getting ripped off day. I mean, cost of goods are going through the roof. I mean, that's a problem that has to be solved, that we can solve. People like myself that are business entrepreneurs that are looking for a way to disrupt an industry that does no longer really exist anymore. And so many other people out there that are getting displaced or misplaced based on their businesses and whatnot. There is a solution here, all the way to the vendors that are already out there losing sales to big, huge conglomerates, and that they're just getting squeezed out of the deal. I mean, there's massive solutions to so many problems, and what a great platform to do it. And when you're with, I like to think that, and I say this from the very beginning, in order to do something really big, you have to surround yourself with massive thinkers, with people that think outside of the box, that always question the status quo. They won't go with the flow. They'll always say, why not do something this big? Why not go in this direction? Somebody's going to do it. Why not us? So I just chose to be part of those types of conversations. And I'm very thankful and blessed to be a part of these conversations today. I'm very excited about the future. And I just hope that you guys are getting another perspective of who you're in business with, what we're doing. And it's a big deal, and it's way bigger than any one of us as individuals, but something really special that we can all do together. So thanks again. Very excited.
Thanks, Mike. Craig, Stacy, over to you.
Yeah, no, the thing that for me that makes this so exciting, like Mike was saying, is that you have all of these industries that have had issues that are disrupted right now. They're not successful. They're having problems, and you're seeing this legitimizing of all of the what Shopley is doing. So like Terry LaCour, he legitimized it from the direct sales and MLM standpoint. We have Shopify now that's legitimizing the e-commerce and partnership and integration side. And you're getting these, check boxes in all the right places in the direction that Shopley has this vision to go. And if you think about who we are as just a tiny stamp, right? A tiny little imprint in the whole e-commerce space. It's a huge world out there, and we now have the vehicle, the funnel that is enormous to be able to bring all of that right to all of us. And it's so exciting to see that the ceiling for where we can go is so massive. Whereas before, that ceiling wasn't very high this first 10 months. You know, we were just trying to trudge along as much as we could. And now you guys, there's going to be no shortage of people to go after. There's going to be no shortage of vendors to bring on, which means that now the influencers that we go after, the affiliates that will have an abundance of offers that they can then reach out and bring in. And so it's that first domino in the series of dominoes that we're knocking down, and then the rest of them are going to continue to fall. And so thank you to the executive team. I know you guys have been working tirelessly, and I think that this is going to be a phenomenal step for all of us as we go. For those of us that have seen that big vision, this is that first step in that big vision for us. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nick, thanks for the big announcement. I'm super excited. Look, I think when I reflect back on the journey, like, you know, we did announce a beta tech company disrupting an industry. And what I would always refer to people, we're creating a shopping revolution. And my vision's still the same. And when you go custom build, you know, to do it properly and to do it well, you know, it's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of resources to be able to keep speed. Tech moves so quickly all the time. And, you know, we're a marketing engine, effectively, all our experiences and that. And I feel the integration and leveraging the infrastructure that a $120 billion company has and has already, the problems have already solved, allows us to be able to do what we do well. And that is help companies, brands, influencers, unite people all around the world to be a part of an ecosystem and a shopping revolution. And if you break our business model down into the 5 sort of different business models within the business model, you know, you'll find billion-dollar companies in each part of those equations. So we are built for the masses. And I truly believe the integrations that we are able to do using the Shopify capability is to be able to get to 175 countries as quick as, you know, the press of a button, the download of an app. If you have a Shopify store, welcome to Shopley. And we, you know, we can really go out there with speed. And I sort of said to people, we won't be legitimate until we meet the 100-100. And the 100-100 vision for me was 100 stores in 100 countries to be able to call yourself a marketplace. You know, in our first 10 months, we've tested the model. 150 to 200 brands already joined us because they love the concept. So we know that works, but we can't be a marketplace with 1 brand in Thailand, 2 in Malaysia, 1 in Singapore. But now we could get 100 brands in 100 countries very, very quickly. And, you know, if you see the vision and what we're doing, we would love to fulfill what we all originally saw in the opportunity, and that is disrupting multiple industries at once. And I feel that Shopley is really ready in the next 90 days on our 12-month anniversary to kick out of what you would refer to as beta and take something special to the world. And really, you know, I'm just super excited about what problem that this solves, this integration solve. Nick mentioned the other week when he went through with the leadership group what merchant of record meant, and it's a Rubik's Cube to solve, you know, and this integration solves that problem. And, you know, I'm just super excited about the future moving forward. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Nick.
Guys, it's always awesome to hear from our leaders so they can give you their perspective as well. I'm going to go into deeper details now on some of these things. Rod, I know you had to jump off towards the end, so I'm going to kick it to you now for anything you want to share. Rod Larson, and then Ron, I see your camera on, so we'll kick it to you. And then, guys, I'm going to go into then some the exact timeline details, talk to you about the upcoming event where we're going to reveal everything that we can reveal, and then also answer some of the questions that are floating around there. So, Rod, over to you.
Yeah, you bet. I really appreciate it. You're on a roll. I hate to even jump in here, but thanks for the opportunity to participate in the joy. There's just great energy coming. I can see all the texts, and very nice to hear from the leaders. Thank you also to Craig and Mike and Stacy for jumping on. It's as I look at the questions on the Q&A and the excitement on the Q&A, I'm really jacked up again myself. We've spent probably 3.5, 4 months of nose to the grindstone, hours, and hours, and trips together face to face as an executive team. And I think you'll see, folks, as you go, that we have turned over pretty much every stone in the Shopley world to see if we like the way it's shaped and if it needs to be adjusted a little bit, and if we have to do something to make the whole of Shopley as close to perfected for you in this 3.0 as we can. Now, as a tech company, we're always going to have more growth, more change, more improvement, more enhancements on our technology. And as amazing as 3.0 will be, there will be a 3.1, 2, and 3 on slight improvements that we have to stage after 3.0 is done. There will be a 4, there will be a 5, and eventually there will be a 10. And so as exciting as 3.0 is, consider what it will be like when we think there needs to be another enhancement and another enhancement and another enhancement to continue to make it so that you are on the absolute cutting edge, sometimes said the bleeding edge of a revolution, an evolution in the e-commerce space as it relates to affiliate and influencer marketing and direct selling. It's really the ability to represent brands around the world, to be able to talk to people about representing brands around the world. For each one of you, some of you in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, can get on the phone, can get on a Zoom with somebody on the absolute other side of the world somewhere, talk to them with a translation going on the Zoom, tell them about Shopley. They can go in and see the funnel, the Shopley Partners process in their own language, sign up in their own language, conduct business in their own country, in their own currency, with their own shipping partners that they're used to, with the own experience they're used to in that market. This one single strategic shift for us at Shopley, which we have spent huge amounts of time studying and thinking and pondering over, this one strategic shift for us really makes it so that we as a technical company, a technology company, are able to do what we do best in our industry, which is marketing and referring. Our technology, which is proprietary technology, when Nick talks about an app that sits in the Shopify app location, that's our technology, our proprietary technology. Okay. And so when they go there, there's a contract with them as a vendor to just take it. It's an online electronic contract. They do it. It's our implementation through Shopify on their rails, which we're so grateful for, that allows us to do that. They're not our partner. We're not their partner. They didn't buy us. We didn't buy them. We are integrated fully with them. We have taken a look at what we believe would be the top 10 Shopify development partners. We've interviewed them directly through one of the members of our team, which you'll meet soon, I think in Florida. We've interviewed them, gone through that, and then finally decided that there's one of those vendors that we think will be absolutely amazing to work with, not just on 3.0. We selected this vendor for 3.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, all the way down the road. We have looked at this from every aspect, from where we are right now during beta, and how we can launch and continually launch from that point going forward. So I'm just going to say I'm super excited about it myself. That's the only superlative I ever seem to use. I'm jacked. I'm blown away. We pulled it off, and very, very excited to be partnered with LaCour on this deal moving forward. Nick, I'm going to go back to you.
I know I'm more excited about 4.0 than I am about 3.0, because 3.0 is like, this is what makes us go. 4.0, which, guys, we've been mapping out 4.0 over the last 6 months, is the thing that makes us so super just sexy. But we'll talk about that next year.
Nick, there is one final question. Let me answer it real quick. Yeah. Hold your thought so I don't leave it. Tony here is asking, as a vendor, what does this mean to me? Folks, we're not leaving you hanging. We've got a plan to reach out to vendors and give them notice on exactly when there will be a meeting, a Zoom with them, and a path and a plan for migration for all of our existing vendors. I'll leave it there with you, Nick. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to go over that right after I wrap up with Ron here in the timeline. So, Tony, I'll hit that, answer that question. And guys, it's worth noting that the idea of being a fully integrated tech company into Shopify is from Terry himself. He brought the idea to us. He said, what if we did this? He brought it to us at the end of last year, and it's just been a very difficult thing to get to the other side of, because we're talking about, $100 billion company that we're trying to match up our tech to. But this idea came from our chairman. So, it's great to see him passing ideas that we're executing on. Ron, take it.
Yeah, I'm going to go really fast. Thank you, Nick. This is a perfect example of the difference between a vision and the process. Sometimes if the vision hasn't landed with us enough, or if we sometimes drift from the vision, we concentrate on the process, and the process can get funky, as it has with us, because this is a heavy, heavy lift. But I'll tell you what, this is a great example, folks, that stand in the vision today, don't move. The process is less significant, but embrace the process. Keep doing the process with us, but just don't move from that vision. Let today be that final reminder for you when it comes to shopping. So thank you.
Yes, sir. He is right. So gang, I'm gonna take a look at the timeline, and we expect that some of you on the line right now are vendors, because we understand, obviously, some of you are a blended partner with us, where you're a team builder who's also a vendor. We also expect that most of our vendors are not on tonight. We are going to do a vendor Zoom next week, Tuesday. We're going to be sending emails, text messages, and Telegram notification to all of our vendors so that they all have access to what this means exactly to them, what they need to do, how they need to do it, etc. Let's pull down for a second, Stace. But in short order, what it means to a vendor, if you're already on Shopify as a vendor, if your Shopley vendors already have Shopify, then all we're going to do is take their Shopify store, they're going to download the app, we're going to pull it over into the new Shopley marketplace. I didn't talk much about the new Shopley marketplace, but the old one, we're going to throw a stick of dynamite in that thing and explode it. There'll be a new Shopley marketplace, sexy, sleek, high tech. You get the idea. If a vendor of ours currently today does not have Shopify, it's real simple. We're going to teach them how to go get Shopify. And they got 2 months, maybe longer, to go start getting a store set up on Shopify. So when we're ready, they'll be able to just download the app and import over, right? What I can say, and it's really important that Rod said this as well, nobody's going to be left behind. If I got to get on a call with a vendor to make sure they understand what they got to do, if Rod does, we'll do it. We're not going to leave our vendors behind. We're just going to move them into a platform that moves with more speed so we can attract more team builders, more affiliates, more influencers, and obviously more customers to our vendors. So this is a win across everybody, right? So like Cheryl answered the question, like, and hopefully, Cheryl, you're about to just smile so big you could eat a banana sideways. She said, wait a second. Are you saying I will not have to re-enter all my products if I already have a Shopify store? The answer is you are, or the response is you are correct. You will not have to. You will not have any store who's on Shopify, whether they're on Shopley now or not, any Shopify store will not have to import anything. Guys, this is such a massive move for us. You have no idea. Those of you that dealt with the troubles of us getting our vendors into our marketplace, you know how difficult this is. When I tell you 98% of the work is going away, 2% is left, which is just some light onboarding, like it's going to get real clean, real simple, lots of speed. All right, let's jump the timeline here. So next Tuesday, guys, is when we're going to do the vendor update call. So that we're going to give them everything they need to know. But here's what we need to do now. Between now and July 19th, we're looking for what I would consider to be people of influence. Okay. I'm going to jump to a slide really quick that I made a moment ago, Stace, just to show these guys this. Here's what we're looking for. Obviously, any of you that want to attend, And also new partners that want to build a team with us. We're not looking for Shopify store owners. We're not looking for Shopify store owners on July 19th. We're not looking for Shopify store owners on July 19th. We're not looking for Shopify store owners. We're looking for people of influence. Maybe they make 6 figures a year, any career, real estate, they own a business, they're a plumber, doesn't matter. Or maybe they work as a teacher, coach, pastor, etc. Like they're a leader and they give of their heart for a living, but they have the ability to move people. People that are influencers online, social media influencers, or people that are been in the network marketing industry, aka full-time networkers that have made a couple grand a month or more. We're looking for 75. You can be one, but we're looking at a total of 75. This is a venue that is maxed out at 75-ish. Everybody's got to be pre-registered. We got to know who it is, who's coming in the door. So it's not just one of those events you can show up to at the last second with 5 people because the building itself doesn't allow people in without a list given to them and showing up with IDs. So said back to you, between now and July 19th, yeah, Stacy, go for it. Between now and July 19th, it's actually the 18th, we're going to do a mixer at night. And then the 19th, we're going to do the events. What's going to happen here? What's going to happen here on July 19th? We're going to roll out the full business plan. We're going to roll out the new incentive plan. So all the new compensation. We're going to roll out all the new licenses. We're going to roll out some of the look and feel. We're going to tease how you're going to go from where you're at today to several grand a month to 5 figures a month by the end of this year, first quarter next year, if you're a person who's a real team builder with real influence, who's bringing people of real influence to the table. So you can RSVP. Go ahead and hit this link real quick with your phone. We're going to give you a way to RSVP. Take a second to grab this. We'll come back to it. If you're scrambling, don't stress. I don't want to lose momentum. Just those of you guys that got your phone, just grab it. Let me do it myself so that I can make sure it's easy. See how long it takes. Okay, I'm in. Great. All right, so let's go back to the timeline. At or around the end of July or August 1st, still deciding. Good point, Joyce. We will live stream to people that RSVP to the live stream and we have approved, but yes, we will live stream. Obviously, not everyone in Australia is going to be able to come out. Obviously, not everybody in, different countries is going to be able to make the trip. Do I expect those of you who can and want proximity, connection, brotherhood, relationship, game planning? It's the stuff that happens before the event and after the event that's the most important. The live stream's the live stream. It's all that camaraderie that goes down before and after. If you're one of those people, get there and bring your 2 top leadership prospects with you. Okay, now, at the end of July until the end of August, here's what's going to happen. We're going to move into a pre-invitation technology or software, meaning the enrollment process into Shopley will be shut off. There will be no more enrollment process either end of July or at least August 1st, we haven't decided, until September. So what does this mean to all of you? Well, if you are an influencer with us or an affiliate member, any type of affiliate, influencer pro, any one of you that stays on your subscription in July and August, you're going to be receiving pioneer benefits that the people that join or get active, either one in September, they will not receive. Let's say this again. For July and August, our existing pioneers who have an active subscription and who stay active with their qualifications of 100 PQV, you're going to receive a list of benefits that no one else is going to receive that joins or goes active in September on. We will announce those benefits in July. Why is this important? Because in August, you're not going to be able to enroll new people onto a license. You're going to be able to pre-enroll them through the invitation process. Cheryl, our sound is still working. That's just on your end, love. Vendors, your vendors will not be charged in August. And the next time they'll be charged, if they roll with us, won't be until January. So this is going to be big for your vendors. So vendors will not be charged again. They'll be charged in July. They will not be charged in August until again in January. Now, in August, the current the Shopley 2.0 marketplace is going to go password protected. So no new people will be able to go to Shopley 2.0. The pioneers, you'll be able to log in. You'll be able to see all the same vendors, all the same products. You can buy them. You can use them. You'll even be able to share them privately to people you want to share them with to sell the products to. But no new influencers will be able to join in the month of August. Let's jump to September. First half of September, early September, first few days, we're going to take everybody that joined the invitation funnel in August and we're going to sign them up all at once. And we're going to make a run. Okay? Mid-September, next click, please, is when the app will go live in Shopify. So we learned from our last run that we don't want to turn on a marketplace with 5 vendors or 10 vendors or 20 vendors, right? We learned that. So here's what we're going to do this time. We're going to keep the marketplace turned off. We're just going to start enrolling vendors with influencers in September until middle of October. In middle of October, we're going to release the brand new marketplace. 3.0 will be complete in terms of the rollouts. Then we'll start rolling out new features every couple of weeks, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, you get the idea, through November, through December. But everything we need to absolutely crush this will be there come mid-October, full marketplace. This is a guess. I'm usually pretty good at sales guessing. I can't guess your weight. I can't guess your age, but I'm good at sales guessing. I think we're going to jump right past 1,000 vendors in the first 30 days. That's my guess. I think we jump straight to 1,000, maybe more in the first 30 days. I'm talking about first 30 days. It's really day one of the marketplace. I think when the marketplace goes live, we have over 1,000 vendors and then some. But stay tuned for why that I believe that for July 19th, because I'm going to roll you out a plan as to what the pioneers are going to get. I'm going to roll you out a plan for what vendors are going to receive that are a part of the early program. And it's sexy. It's hot. We have to multiply, right? The days of waiting and adding one person and waiting and adding one person, those days are coming to a close. It's time now to shift into, holy cow, they're ready. 3.0's around the corner. And you got to ask yourself, when our vendor app goes live and we jump to 1,000 vendors, how many of those vendors are going to be in your team? 1, 0, 8, 80. When we go from 1,000 vendors to 5,000 vendors, how many of them will be in your team? When we turn on the marketplace, how many influencers will you have? 1, 100, 800, 2,000? Because when that marketplace goes live and everybody starts buying from themselves with our new customer rewards model, and everybody starts going live with their favorite products and their favorite brands, what's going to happen to your income? Listen, you can't walk into this thing October 15th and go, oh, wow, this marketplace is badass. Let me go start calling people. Let me start over. That's incorrect. You can do that. But why would you work this hard, this long to stick in the game, to wait to see? This is what you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for the opportunity to know when to go. And all I can do is lead from my own activity. And it's my intention when we log off this Zoom to go. And I want to take everybody with me that wants to go, but prepared to do whatever is necessary to make sure that when 3.0 begins, that there's thousands of influencers that take this company worldwide again. I'm going to stop there, bring back on our panel, closing thoughts from you guys, and then I'll close out.
I'll jump in. I think that there's so much to cover because there is so much happening, and I'm sitting back listening to everything happen, and I know that and try to put myself in the position that many of you guys are at too, and I know that you're going to have a ton of questions, which is rightfully so, and those will certainly get answered. But I would definitely be thinking about the next few weeks. I would definitely be thinking about Miami. I would definitely be thinking about what is necessary to position yourself to be in the best position possible. Not after then, but what happens between now and then. And the other thing that I wanted to say that it was probably pointed out, but when we're talking about where we came from, where we're at now, I mean, you almost can't really understand the picture unless you really go down this rabbit hole, and you're going to get it eventually. You'll totally get it and go, oh my God, I didn't really understand. But one of the big things I do want to point out is that when we were talking about launching with the concept of influencers and people, being professional online social media influencers, that is absolutely the future. There's no doubt. But I know a lot of you guys maybe felt like I did, that said, you know what, I might not be, I don't know if I'm that person. I don't know if I'm that, or can I learn to be that person? Of course you can. But the reality is that might have been what's holding you back. The message of where we're going as a company right now is so much more palatable. It's so much more comfortable. It's so much more consumer friendly, and not nobody has to be scared about the messaging. When you hear what comes up in July about what some of the forward messaging is going to be from us to a potential consumer or somebody that wants to shop on the platform, you're going to realize that it did not take you having to go to Shopley University and becoming a massive influencer on your own in order to become successful. This is a huge shift that I believe will appeal to the masses. Okay, so just know that sometimes you got to go on faith, but you know what? At the end of the day, that's the only thing I've ever seen any massive success always started with the right people and enough faith to believe that it was possible. So looking forward to seeing you guys in Miami.
Thank you, Michael. And I'm glad that you said that message, because critical distinction, I know in my mind, I understand what I mean by repositioning the customer rewards model, but I'm glad that you created that critical distinction, because a person could very easily just build a team of people that are going to want to just use this customer rewards for themselves and do very well financially. Craig, Stacy, over to you.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty brief. The thing that I would say, I know it's so hard it takes discipline. Let me say it a different way. It takes discipline to force yourself to see past the short run of something and to not see, okay, I need the instant gratification. I'm not getting the little kick of validation of why I'm here, whether that's money, whether that's praise, whether that's community, whatever that short-term thing is, it takes discipline to stay the course, to see down the road. And it takes discipline to say, I saw the vision, I see the vision, and I'm going to stick. And so for those of you that have stuck and those of you that still are here, like you deserve a huge congratulations and a pat on the back for seeing that vision and having the discipline to stay the course. You will be the ones that this pays off for. The hardest part, though, is going to be when you get out of bed to go work out, to get out of that warm bed, that first step. It's to get off the couch, to go, pick up the laundry or whatever it is. That first step is always the hardest. And Miami is your workout buddy. Miami is that kick off the couch. Miami will be all of those things for you if you want to hit the ground running. So if you see the vision, if you know where you want to go and you want to go there with speed, figure out a way to get to Miami, bring as many people as you can that fit the qualifications, and hit the ground running with your workout buddies. Because those of us that have seen the vision, have been waiting for this, we're going to be going and we're looking for the people that we're going to link the arms with, and go the course and take this as far as we can. So I'm so excited that we're finally, able to talk about this and it's getting closer and more exciting. And so I can't wait for the numbers to grow on these Zooms and for everybody to kind of share the message with everyone. So Craig, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. And so again, like just this announcement of the integration is just what I originally, when I first heard about Shopley, I thought if we can get to there in 3 to 5 years, I thought it'd be super exciting. And the fact that we're having this conversation 10 months in or 8 months from going live with the website in October last year with 5 brands, this is what I'm built for, like to bring consumers, unite influencers, bring those people that like building teams together all in the one ecosystem. And cost of living's a real crisis out there for people. We are going to be making a huge impact on the cost of living crisis, where people can, with that customer repositioning, people are going to fall in love what we have. And I always think back to the big tech companies that we live and buy from every day, the Amazons, the Googles, the Apples. They had a garage story. Their garage story went for 2, 3, 4 years before they got their second product, or before they got off the runway, or before they got bought out and rebought back again like they did with Apple. We're fast tracking this through smart strategic business decisions. The integration with Shopify really allows us to be able to create the ecosystem and that allows people to participate in from multiple different areas. So, I'm super excited. Time will move quickly. Like you'll think September, October, that seems like a few months away, but it will move quickly. From Miami to the invite tool to going live in September, processing credit cards will move very quickly. So I'm just encourage people to start building their foundations now and multiply and leverage the work you do now when we go fully live in October. So going to hand it back to you, Nick, and super excited about doing these events week after week after week to really build the momentum and take this to the world.
Thank you, brother. Guys, great questions you guys have been asking me. In fact, the last one I was just asked is a good segue. Cheryl asked me, hey, is there anything I can share on 3.0 videos, etc.? Guys, no, purposely there's nothing yet. This is the first time we've ever talked about it today. On the 19th is when we'll start pushing information out. We'll start doing constant presentations. But I will definitely record some sort of invitation video to the 19th. It'll probably have to be a couple minutes long so we can talk about 1.0, 2.0, and then invite to 3.0. And then that way you have a tool to invite to 3.0 on the 3.0 reveal on the 19th. Stacey, if you want to pull up, by the way, the QR code again. So, as soon as we get a sense from you guys who's coming and who's not coming to Miami from you, the base, Once I know that, I'm going to start aggressively inviting new people to come out there on the 19th to look at this based on what it is that your guys' response is. And guys, remember, even though you might watch a 5-hour Zoom because you want to see the new incentive plan, the new positioning, the new licenses, all of it, it's going to be real hard to get a business professional to want to do that. So we're reminding you of that. But business professionals make big business decisions all the time. People fly to Miami by the tens of thousands every day to do business, and not one business, but 1,000 different businesses. It's not a new thing for people to get on a plane to evaluate a business decision that could impact the rest of their life. So do not be afraid to, put this in front of the people that need to look at this and need to see this and need to be in your team to make this thing pop and make this thing go. So, I shared with you guys a little bit from where I felt a moment ago. I'll close with this. You're the pioneers. Don't be dead on the side of the trail right before we get to the promised land. Like, don't give up now. And the hard part about what we do is sometimes people think pioneering is sitting there and waiting. That's not pioneering. That's, I don't know, it's spectating, it's watching. Pioneering is the people that are still grinding, working, sharing, promoting, inviting, prospecting until the path is completely clear. And then they're doing it even faster. Because I share that because I don't want to give someone the false hope that if you just stick around and do nothing, money's going to show up, at your doorstep, because it's not. What's going to happen is somebody else is going to come after you and say, wow, this company's great. It's easy. It's amazing. It's simple. It's clean. It's clear. And here's a hard truth about business. I've been through many business successes. I've been through one anomaly, meaning almost impossible for anyone to ever recreate ever, from $500,000 a month in sales to 66 million a month in sales in 32 months. That's an anomaly. But I've been through many, many, many successes, but I've also been through many, 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 many failures. I've been through both of them. So this isn't like I'm not being condescending or cocky or anything when I say this. This is just from experience. The people who show up brand new to 3.0, they don't know about any of the issues, the challenges, what didn't work, what something looked like, what happened on customer service, what happened with your experience to get a vendor. They don't know. More importantly, check this out. This is the part that's going to sound rude. They don't care. Like, they're not going to be sitting there waiting to hear about all the problems that they don't care. They're just going to see 3.0 and go, what is this thing? And they're going to go crazy with it. And there's going to be a lot of people, and there's these people that talk about, yeah, I was there in the beginning. I passed on that because, because that feels good to their ego. Yeah, I told them where to stick it. Oh, that thing? Yeah, whatever. There'll be that group. There'll be the other group that'll be like, yeah, this is great, but you should have seen all the stuff that didn't work. Like, you don't know how bad my life is, buddy. The people that lead with the negative, there's going to be the people that, they have enough maturity to not do that, but not enough faith to run. And those are more the spectators. And then there's the ones that if there's a characteristic that I possess that has worked for me, I have a very short memory about stuff that doesn't work. I just don't. I just don't revel in it. I just have a short memory. And as soon as 3.0 comes, you think I'm ever going to talk about what didn't work in 1.0 again? I'm still talking about it because we're not there yet. So please Monetize on your efforts you've put in so far. Monetize on the work you've put forward. Monetize on the pain that you felt. Monetize on the pioneering that you've done, the hours that you've poured in. Monetize. But that's only done through sharing, recruiting, team building, adding, showing up, bringing people with you. And all of you guys have the ability, the skill, the energy, and the talent to do it. And we're going to do it together. So anybody that wants to organize some Zoom, some team Zoom, anything you want for me to do something like this to get people out to Miami or to the Zoom on the 19th, let me know. I'll be ready. Thank you so much for your time tonight, guys. We are getting closer and closer. I appreciate you. Shopify and Shopley, the greatest collaboration to come in shopping. Let's do it. Good night, everybody.